anxiously awaited the arrival of their charges, and the first to arrive were R.P. Reneker and Robin Houghton in the Castrol Toyota Land Cruiser. From 66th place into the lead was nothing short of amazing. But their lead was short-lived as the Woolridge Ranger idled by, and into the lead the chase was on. Weir Smith and George arrived with a bunch of Class B entries in close pursuit. Their performance was also amazing. 83rd to first in one lap in the BMW-powered O'Hagan's Kopenhagen Hotel Gymco. Foss and Griffiths passed through without refueling, a strategic move that handed the Nissan team the Class D lead. Pit crew attended to Class B contender Rob Gurney as the Zermatten brothers headed for the pit exit in the PlayStation Pajero.
How's the route going?
Yeah, very badly marked in the one section, but we're going great guns. Cars, mint.
The fan belt and battery problem on the Hannes Froblo Nissan persisted, and he would eventually be forced into retirement, but not so Reneker and Houghton, who was still leading in the Toyota. The route marking on lap 2 improved dramatically, and the top 10 running order hardly changed. Neil Woolridge and Kenny Skoltheimer were still nursing the overheating Ford Racing Ranger, and a broken power steering would later slow them even more. Henry and Maurice Zermatten had moved up to 3rd overall, but were involved in a titanic battle with Duncan Foss and Pete Haasbroek for Class D honours. Special vehicle leaders John Weir Smith and Tony George had the race firmly in their grasp, but a puncture on the second lap would cost them dearly. Bankfin touring car driver Foss and Griffiths were having their best run ever in the Works Class D Nissan Hardbody. Rob Gurney had Class B under control and was 6th overall in the John Rowe Design JRE. Veteran Kasi Kutsia and co-driver Orki Fourie were 7th overall and Class E leaders in the Castrol Toyota Condor, but had Macha Kanene and Andre in the Gymco breathing down their necks. 9th placed Mark Corbett and one more were still charging hard in the Class D Century Property Development Isuzu. And Jaap de Bruin rounded out the top 10 in the recently acquired ex-Chris Birkin Class E Toyota Hilux, but were being hunted down by Greg Dowse and Trevor Omerod in the Class S leading Nashua Mobile Raceco. Frith Mulder and brother-in-law Willie Jordan in the V8-powered Jojo Tank Chevrolet grabbed the Class F lead after the service point. The finish of the Barberspan 500, and much anxiety as spectators and service crew awaited the arrival of race winners R.P. Reneker and Robin Houghton in the Castrol Toyota Land Cruiser. Victory eluded the team throughout the 2001 season, but this well-deserved win got their Bankfin Off-Road Championship campaign off to a wonderful start. Reneker has won the Barberspan 500 6 times before, and co-driver Houghton had only one win in 1996, but this victory and their charge from 66th place will be remembered for years to come. The winner's cap for a young fan. Concerned Ford Racing Pit crew awaited the arrival of Neil Woolridge and Kenny Skoltheimer, who had nursed the overheating Ford Racing Ranger throughout the event.
They carried on, so I said, no, you 2 minutes
the power steering was miffed us.
Pete Haasbroek and Christo Bosch stormed through from the back of the Class D field to finish 3rd overall and 1st in Class D in the Castrol Toyota Land Cruiser, with Henry and Maurice Zermatten only seconds behind in the PlayStation Pajero. A good start to the season for the Tusker Farmers. quad racer Vickers van Deventer had a good time. A fine performance from the Zamatin brothers was rewarded with 4th overall in the production vehicle category and 2nd in Class D.
This race was just about who got lost the least. That's all it was. There we go.
Ons het goed gereden. Ons het die eerste ronde was ons 4de vir 'n baie lang tyd. En toe het ons so 20 km hier vanaf in die water gehad. Het ons daar het gevrek en dis die battery dood. Daar het ek so 10 meter gewag tot 'n Land Rover ons uit aan die brand gesleep. Het toe gekom en toe ons 'n nuwe battery sit af. Dis 9 en slag. En ek wen tweede ronde het goed.
A debut win in Class E for the Castrol Toyota Condor of Kasikutsia and Okifuri, and 3 class wins for the Castrol Toyota team.
From the start of it, I said I'll be happy if I got a 2nd or 3rd spot. We're looking for the championship points at the end of the year, and we're quite surprised actually coming in with 1st in Class E, and it was a tough event.
Despite a broken front shock absorber, Makhekenene and Andre persevered right to the finish, but almost threw away their lead when they wrong slotted within sight of the finish. A debut win as a driver for Atang Makhekenene and as co-driver for rookie Paul Andre in the Sam Racing Gymco. John Weir-Smith and Tony George blew their chances after a close encounter with a tree, and the resulting puncture cost them valuable time. This wrong slot didn't help their cause either. The O'Hagan's Kopenhagen Hotel Gymco performed faultlessly throughout the race.
Yeah, you can drive. It's good. Well done.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate it. But given the circumstances, I think John also drove very well. It's the beginning of the season. There's 7 more races to go. We need to see each other every race, right, in this position.
It's going to be a tough championship.
Greg Dowse and Trevor Ormerod powered their Nashua Mobile Raceco to 3rd overall in the special vehicle category and won the new Class S.
Very happy to be winner and 3rd overall, which is good for the points. It's a nice way to start the season and a nice way to start Class S.
Gavin Gray and Brian Scott won Class B in the Powerflow Raceco and finished 4th overall in the special vehicle category.
The competition is very, very fierce in Class B. Last year we had there was just a couple of us running, and this year we've seen a large contingent from Natal come up, and we've seen a lot of new cars change hands, and it looks like it's going to be a force to be reckoned with in 2002.
Frik Mulder and Billy Jordan were the inaugural winners of Class F for unlimited 2-wheel drive trucks.
Previously, I had to compete against the 4-wheel drives in the T class, and that's not always nice competing in a 2-wheel drive against the 4-wheel drives. And I think there's quite a few cars out there that can enter in this new class now, which would be to the benefit of off-road racing as a whole.
The top 10 production vehicles, a long overdue win for Reyneke and Houghton, and 3 class wins for the Castrol Toyota team.
It was my lucky day, and we had a quite clean run today. No problems on the car. We had a couple of wrong slots, and that was that. But we were leading before halfway through the race, and we kept our lead all the way, and everything just went well for us today.
The top 10 special vehicles, a debut win for Makhekenene and Andre, and 2 Class S and 4 Class B cars in the top 10.
And I'm very pleased with myself, my crew, my mechanic, everybody else who's here with us, my navigator here, and my son who came for the first race with us. I think it's a blessing that he came.
Thank you. It's our first time out, of my first time ever in a racing car, first time as navigator. Magnificent. The tongue drove impeccable. If we hadn't had our problems, I think we would have come in first overall. Fantastic day. Thanks to the organisers. Great.